Body Language, Episode 3, Coffee Breaks. By week 2 at the job, you'd learned that offices are basically ecosystems. Everyone has a role. The IT guy with his bad puns. He was the office. Clownfish, loud, harmless, occasionally annoying. Mrs. Lockhart, your boss, definitely the hawk sharp-eyed, perched above everyone, waiting for the slightest mistake. And you were wallpaper. At least until Ethan Cole walked in and you decided you'd like to become maybe not a painting, but at least a vase worth noticing. The problem was, noticing went both ways. Not in some dramatic cinematic way where violins swelled and the camera zoomed in. No, he just looked at you like he knew you were there. Like you weren't invisible. And that was enough to make your pulse trip over itself. Unfortunately, Devon was with you. Oh ho ho, Devon purred, spotting him instantly. Target acquired. Devon, no, you whispered, clutching your tote bag like it was a shield. Absolutely not. We're just here for coffee. And what a coincidence, Devon said, tugging you forward. So is he. You dug your heels in, but Devon was stronger than he looked. You ended up in line to people behind Ethan. He was scrolling through his phone, looking unfairly good in a plain white button-down. You tried. Really. You did. But then Ethan turned slightly, caught your eye, and smiled. Morning, he said, simple and quiet. You froze. Devon, unhelpful as ever, stage whispered, say hi, girl, before he thinks you swallowed your tongue. Hi, you squeaked, immediately wanting to die. You cleared your throat. I mean, good morning. Ethan's smile deepened. Just a flicker, but enough to make your knees wobble. You come here often. First time. Actually, you said fumbling with your tote strap. Devon said the lattes were good. Best coffee in the neighborhood. And God help you. That sound did something to you. You ended up at a corner table, clutching your vanilla latte like it was a lifeline. Devon had insisted on sitting at another table close enough to eavesdrop, far enough to let the magic happen. He was pretending to scroll his phone, but you knew better. Ethan sat across from you, stirring his coffee absent-mindedly. He didn't say much at first, and the silence made you itch. You were raised to fill silences with polite conversation, but your brain was stuck between don't say something stupid and don't drool. So you blurted finally. Do you, like working there? Not much else to it. You nodded too quickly. Same. For a moment, you worried that was the end of it, that the conversation would wither and die like an overwatered plant. But then he leaned back in his chair, studying you. You always this nervous? He asked softly. Your heart stopped. I'm not. His mouth curved just slightly. Relax, I don't bite. From the other table, Devon loudly fake coughed unless you ask him to. Ignore him, you muttered. He thinks he's funny. You didn't know what to say to that, so you sipped your latte and tried not to choke on it. The conversation limped along at first. Work, weather, how the office printer seemed to have a personal vendetta against everyone. But then Ethan surprised you. You're different from everyone else there, he said suddenly. You blinked. Different how? He shrugged. I don't know, calmer, quieter, like you're actually listening when people talk. Most people don't do that. You felt your cheeks warm. No one had ever said something like that to you. Not in a way that sounded genuine. Well, you said, fumbling. Someone's got to keep track of what Mrs. Lockhart says, or else the whole place would collapse. That made him laugh, really laugh this time. It wasn't loud, but it was real, and it lit up his face in a way that made your stomach do cartwheels. You thought, oh, I'm in trouble. By the time you walked back to the office, latte in hand, Devon was practically skipping beside you. Look at my little Fiona Belmont, having herself a coffee date with Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome. It wasn't a date, you hissed. Baby, if it looks like a date, and it sounds like a date, it's a date. Case closed. You tried to argue, but Devon was relentless. And deep down, you didn't really want to argue, because for the first time in a long time, you felt seen. Not like wallpaper. Not like background noise. Like maybe you mattered. Closing narration note that night. Lying in bed, you thought about Ethan's laugh. About how, for a few minutes over coffee, you hadn't felt like a nervous mess. You'd felt almost normal. And normal, you realized, might be the most dangerous feeling of all. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Brace yourself for what comes next. Till next time, in our next chapter. Body language, are you fluent?